Right, last video of the week. Let's get this ball rolling. So here's the thing. Today we're going to talk about how to create a workflow that really works for you. And to be honest, when it came to scripting this video, I didn't even know what a workflow is. So I Googled its definition and let me give you the definitive answer. So a workflow is defined as the sequence of industrial, administrative, or other processes through which a piece of work passes from initiation to completion. Okay. So in regular people language, basically that means how do you take a task from start and how do you finish it? So a workflow to me is literally that. Why even bother creating a workflow, you might be asking? Well, here's the thing. A workflow is extremely important in keeping you optimized and keep you on track to do the tasks that needs to be done to help you stay organized and extremely efficient. So yeah. Just like how you don't want chaos in your life, you want order, you want that in your work day as well. And to be honest, overall, it just takes out a lot of the complexity in terms of how you structure your day and in terms of your work day. What I mean by that is by knowing exactly what to do on the next task, it removes a lot of the thinking out of, what to do next, and you are able to focus a lot better on the task at hand. Because, as entrepreneurs, I'm sure you can agree, if you just dig into your mind a little bit, you'll realize, you're constantly firing 100 cylinders at once, having 10 different thoughts going on in your head at the same time, and it sometimes can get too much. So by removing, complexity and by removing thought out of your mind, you're really able to leave your brain at home and just execute during your workday. So that's why it increases your focus a lot more. So yeah, how do you actually create a workflow? So personally, I can recommend certain softwares. Personally, right now I use Todoist integrated with Toggle. So what Todoist is essentially is just a to-dos list app that can connect to your Google Calendar and also integrates with an app called a browser extension called Toggle. And what that allows you to do is it helps you track the amount of time spent doing each task. So what can happen is, on your to-dos list, for example, today I have shoot and edit 5 videos. I just click the timer and it shows me exactly how long I will take to do that task. And what that helps with is it helps you organize your day. So for example, I tend to try not to work more than 8 hours a day, simply because after past that point, I see like a point of diminishing returns in terms of the time spent, because I get really tired and I become incredibly inefficient in my work. So it helps me allocate and better understand how much time I need for individual tasks, because to be honest, outreach and shooting videos is a very repetitive task. So it's very good for me to know, okay, on average, it takes me like 3 hours to shoot and script the videos, and it takes me on average 3 more hours to edit them and another hour to 2 hours to upload them, meaning overall it's going to take about 8 hours? Yeah, 8 hours to complete the whole process, meaning I cannot schedule anything for that day. So yeah, that's how I do my time right now. And also another piece of software which I will be implementing to manage my team is going to be a software called Trello, and that's literally like a workflow board where each column is like a representation of a different category of work. So you might have, to-dos list, in progress, completed, and blocked. What that means, the block section is literally like for tasks that cannot progress due to circumstances out of your control. And obviously to-dos list, in progress, and completed is very self-explanatory. So yeah, Trello is a very good piece of software to manage workflows. And yeah, that's it. So certain tips on, how to actually organize your time. Personally, I don't like to work more than 35 hours a week. I want to try to push that progressively to 40 hours, but to scale to that point, I need to optimize my routines a bit more. And, the way I recommend you create a workflow is progressively overload yourself. So for example, if you're a complete novice and a complete beginner at the SMMA space, I would recommend perhaps working for about 20 hours to begin with in your week if you're trying to do this full time, and then progressively overload it to 40. I wouldn't recommend working past 40 hours a week just because you're going to probably be experiencing some burnout and things of that nature. So yeah, Personally, right now, I'm on 35 hours a week consistently, and I've been consistent for about a month now. So yeah. Another thing is make sure to implement rest in your workflow. So for example, personally, I make sure to implement, a lunch hour or 2 hours throughout the day to make sure that I'm fully rested and I don't get tired of working and I don't get bored. So boredom is actually massive because, outreach is a very, very monotonous and just annoying process overall. And it's not a task that I look forward to, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, like make sure you schedule those tasks in and make sure you implement rest. So I take one day out of this week completely off. For me, that's Sundays, but recently I've been kind of taking like Saturdays off just because how timings have worked out. But yeah, make sure you give yourself at least one day completely off where you don't check Slack, you don't reply to any messages related to work, and just let yourself cool down, relax, hang out with friends, enjoy temporary and instantaneous gratification. So yeah, rest is one of the biggest points in terms of creating your workflow, but also give yourself some buffer room, allocate certain time blocks in the day where it's to play catch up. Because inevitably you're going to procrastinate and you're going to, not be as efficient as possible. So I tend to leave, the hours between 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night for when I get my last few tasks done and I'm able to wrap up my work day. Another tip is, be flexible with your work time. If for example Monday your friend invites you out and you really want to see this friend or whatever, just go, because one of the biggest perks of working for yourself is you have complete time freedom. So please take advantage of that. One of the joys of working for yourself is literally being able to completely control your own time. So take advantage of that. Don't imprison yourself in your own workflow, because otherwise you're going to feel trapped. And one of the joys of entrepreneurship is just having complete control of your life. So yeah, I recommend being flexible with your time, and don't beat yourself up if you make mistakes along the way. It's completely inevitable. I've made my mistakes. I still make mistakes on a daily basis in my workflow, and literally every single successful agency owner does that. Unless, I don't know, you're David Goggins or something, in which case you're super disciplined and your willpower is just crazy. But yeah, anyways, for regular folks like us, I promise you, do not beat yourself up over mistakes or inefficiencies in your day. If you don't complete the work, it's okay, scale back a little bit, make sure you're able to complete the day, and don't allocate too much work for yourself in that day. And with that, I will leave you to have a restful weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and comment down below any questions or video suggestions you have. I upload Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. UK time, teaching SMMA entrepreneurship. And follow me on my Instagram. I'll be going live taking subscriber Q&As every single Monday, 7 p.m. Highly recommend you follow me on those platforms. Also LinkedIn as well. I write articles from time to time going over more of the service delivery side of things. So yeah, and I'll see you guys next week. Videos. Bye guys. Have a good weekend.